Peace to y'all, it's the Ringside Club Paul. A.O. Blame Boogie, Chad Law. The power's back, triple power bomb. The big dog trio in the stream, y'all. Go outside, hit the venue guard. It's all love when you see us, Lord. Back to the pad, on air for the pod. Ringside Club, intro to the squad. Let the show start. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What's up, man?
What up,
111. Episode 111.
We here.
Mightiest of the mighty, like we usually do every Thursday. Except for last Thursday. You was a little under the weather, man. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling better, man. Just I did a little bit of traveling. So I think just the weather change just took me over a little bit. Was in Detroit. Shout out to the Motor City, Machine Guns and all that. That was cool, man. Got to see Leon Thomas live. Shout out to his people, his team. That was a really good experience getting to go out there and see that. And also got to hit a Pistons game. You know what I mean? Pistons is all right, man.
Who'd
Pistons
they
is
play?
cool. The Rockets. Jalen Green is the truth. You know what I mean? Little Caesars Arena is cool. It's kind of like it's not Madison Square Garden, but like that whole strip of where the Lions play, which is a very big thing out there. Like the Lions are legit. Like I'm a Lions fan, so it's cool to see everybody just lined out. Like how we are with the Knicks. Like you don't see that in a lot of cities. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can go to LA and you'll see the Lakers. All right. I mean, depending on the city, like Miami, perfect example. You ain't gonna see as many Heat as you will see Knicks, Nets, Lakers. They're in Miami. You know what I'm saying? But like in Detroit, it's just straight Detroit Lions. Like we don't have any respectable Jets and Giants gear at the moment to wear unless it's throwbacks. But everyone is Montgomery, Gibbs, Sam
Said you got to get
Laporta.
that. It's just about Dave Brown and Rodney Hampton
Yeah,
levels with the New York Giants, bro.
it's like I noticed a difference. Like our shit is like out here, we're wearing throwbacks because that's the best of our era. But like out in Detroit, they're wearing like David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs, like Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're wearing all the latest Lions gear because the Lions are on fire right now. So like everywhere I went, the planes, the airport, like everybody was just lined out. Like so it was actually pretty dope to see like a city really be that unified on football.
Right.
Like
Right.
that was a really good experience. But shout out to Detroit, really good. It feels like everything Detroit. It feels like everything Big Sean raps about. I'll say.
I haven't been to Detroit. I spent the Thanksgiving in Detroit once on tour. That was an interesting time. Cold, super duper cold, bro.
Yeah, the weather was a little bit colder, noticeably out there than it
A
was.
little.
Yeah, obviously because they're by Canada and all that. So like
Yeah.
when I came back here, I was like, motherfuckers are in shorts and a t-shirt out here. It's November, and like out there, niggas already got coats and shit on. So
Yeah, that's a different. I don't like it.
yeah,
I don't like it.
Midwest. I fuck with the Midwest though. Shout out to the Midwest. It's all love. Chicago, Detroit, RSC. Fuck with y'all. To our Midwest listeners, we salute to y'all. We
Yo,
appreciate y'all.
so you made your flight, is what you're telling
Yo,
me.
you know what I mean? I had assistance on the flight, so it wasn't a dolo flight. You know what I mean? So I had assistance.
Okay.
So I had assistance on that
It
one.
was it was organized.
Yes, it was organized in that, you know what I mean? I didn't leave alone on that one. So yeah,
Word up.
Detroit was cool. Detroit was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? What's the problem with you, Brody? I know you over there just ready to fucking stop podding any minute now, man.
Dog, I was about
Nigga
ready to throw the
tired.
towel in. I was about ready to throw the towel in, dog. I had
Nigga
like
saw an episode of Dynamite and was like, I'm over this shit. I'm over it.
it wasn't even dynamite, bro. It just be like I don't be wanting to analyze anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
I want
feel
to
you.
watch the show. Once the show is over, go about my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't care enough anymore to analyze. Like I want to get back to as far as this show is concerned. Like when we first started out, it was like, yo, let's bring some topics. Let's throw some jokes in there. We out of here in like 35 minutes, 40 minutes. If you want some analysis,
Yeah,
There are
yeah. You hear it from
900
everybody.
wrestling pods,
Yes,
dog.
there's.
There
I
are
saw the list.
900 wrestling pods, bro.
I went to the website. I went to I forgot the name of the website, but I just caught it earlier today. I was looking at it with all the wrestling podcasts, and it's like Steve
It's
Austin's
crazy.
number one. Like, you got Cornette and all them.
Yo,
Like
Steve
it's
Austin is number one, and Steve ain't put a new episode out
yeah,
in
it
like
was
6 years.
insane. It
You
was
know what I'm saying?
insane. I was just like, this is kind of wild, but there is 900 podcasts you can listen to, but you're listening to the RSC, the Almighty, the Good
Yeah,
Brothers
man.
here who are always here. You know what I'm saying?
Blame
Giving you
Boogie, what up?
shout to Blame Boogie. We're gonna give you that good humor. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna
Yeah,
be too much of
let's just have some fun with
this
it,
is what we
man.
do, man.
Let's
You
just
know what I
have some
mean?
fun
We
with it.
still we still have entertainment with this, you know what I mean? We still come from the entertainment music side of things. So, you know what I'm saying? We aren't the guys who are
Yeah.
just fucking
I can't be
wrestling.
breaking. I
Yeah,
cannot
I
sit here
feel
and break down like who botched what booking makes sense. I can't do it anymore. Like I
you
just
know what?
we can't do it anymore.
I watch the product so much that it's like even with the law takes, it's like, dog, I feel like I'm like maybe this particular period, but it feels like I am currently in a loop of wrestling, like where nothing is exciting me right now to where I would even want to write
You know
after a
something?
show
To
specifically.
to to that point, man, it's like I think to your point, there's a lot of just consume. And at a certain point, it's like, man, I think the less I watch, the more I'm able to get excited about certain things here and there. For example,
Yes,
like I'll tap into TNA, every couple of weeks and like really, really love what I see, because it's whatever's going on is like there's that little bit of me catching up as a freshness to a couple of things. Or like I'll skip Raw for a week and then tap in the next week, or I'll watch like half of Dynamite and catch the other half just based on comments. Not being on Twitter also helps. I've been on Blue Sky a little bit this week, and it's a different vibe there, especially without the politic and porn bots. That always helps. But
you
just
are
in
very
general,
true.
it's like and then I think it also like to be completely honest because uh, I come from and pay my bills as a creative individual, somebody that actually has to like come up with something that didn't exist 5 minutes ago. I also have like a sensitivity to that part too. Like you ain't going to knock it out the park every week. So when shit is whack. But it is what it is. It's not like I got to sit there and beat your back and pause about what was whack. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, with all that being said, it's episode 111 with Full Gear ready because AEW Full Gear is coming this Saturday. A nice Saturday pay per view. You know what I mean? Instead of that Sunday, a nice
I just
Saturday. It'd be dope if it was like a 1 p.m., 3 p.m. type of vibe, but
yeah.
I like a good Saturday
You know
pay
what,
per view
yo?
nonetheless.
I really wanted to go, but I realized that I am not built for live events and longevity, which is why I prefer the style of attending WrestleMania in the way that we did,
100%.
as opposed to attending the live show. Because
Yeah.
I think I might put an asterisk next to a WWE PLE because they're 5 matches at this point. We're conditioned to 5, 6 matches, and I feel like 2.5 hours without the traffic and the entrance and the exit, the let out. I feel like that show's gonna fly. An AEW live show, I feel like
That's a commitment, man. That's a commitment. So it's like the length of the card for you. For me, I think it's just like the whole environment of like 40,000 people, 15,000 people, whatever, like that let out. I'm just not looking forward to it. I see the good sir Chad might have froze there. So while Chad gets his tech in order,
I'm
he
here.
gets his there you go.
I'm
I'm
here.
gonna take this. We get back to that point, but let's properly introduce ourselves and introduce the show. Once again, this is the Ringside Club's episode number 111. You can head over to theringsideclub.com. You can scan that QR code that's right above my head as well, and that'll take you to where all of the or wherever we show up, you'll be able to find that. So that's across all socials. That means TikTok, that means X, where we're streaming live right now. YouTube, of course, where we're streaming live right now. Blue Sky. A lot of people have been migrating over to Blue Sky this week. So the Ringside Club is established over there as well. So we're there. Make sure you follow us, tap in, chop it up. And then, of course, you can catch all of the podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of the podcast platforms. And, of course, like I mentioned, YouTube, we're live right now. But if you don't catch us live, that means you're catching us on demand. So either or, appreciate you for tapping in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, of course, tell a friend to tell a friend, man.
My name, I go by two letters, AO. Last name, Baker. Got a lot cooking, man. I have a lot cooking.
Mhm.
Uh, that Tyson and Logan Paul, we'll get into that a little bit. There's a lot of jokes, but there's something about that event that's related to what I have going on. But I'll stay tuned. A part of my fresh over the next, I say, month or so, 2 months maybe,
Okay.
ish, just about. I
About
got
to break
something
some
that I've
stories,
been.
man.
Yeah, I'm not going to give all the information out. I'm gonna just say like there's a phrase that's related to that fight, politics, a lot of things. It's called "Everything is Pro Wrestling," and it's very, very true. But that is related to part of my fresh, which is my hat company. Of course, I'm rocking that white pink. Very few of those on sale. Might do a little Black Friday thing, but I got another drop coming. Hopefully, right around Wrestle Kingdom. It's
Okay.
something that I've been really wanting to do since like 2016, 2017, and I'm finally branching off and doing that. And then we got some ringside club related things that we got to talk about related to that. But yeah, man, a lot of good, lot of good.
A lot of good
Uh,
blessings.
yeah, man, a lot of good stuff. But yeah, my name is Ao Baker. Follow me wherever you follow me or don't. Chat, what up?
Yo, it's the kid, CHADLAW, Chad Law, Young Gaddafi himself, Gaddafi Gang hoodie. Make sure you go to
Cop that.
GaddafiGang.com, grab
Cop
that.
that.
You know what I'm saying? I got some new stuff coming as well too down the pipeline. I think it's gonna be real good what's coming up for the winter time. I mean, I love this type of season. I love this time of year. Elijah Rosario, we got his Letters to My Love 2 project coming out in January. So we will be having a release event in Atlanta. So my Atlanta followers, lock in with us. We're gonna be making sure we got y'all in the building. You know what I mean? Want to have y'all ear for that one. Elijah Rosario, Letters to My Love 2. It's gonna be a great project. Chemical Reaction, the single is out right now. Shoot, other than that, we over here at the Ringside Club. It's the RSC the Almighty. You know what I mean? It's what we do every Thursday night. It's episode
Yeah, yeah,
111.
yeah,
This is a good one. I'm feeling good tonight. We're gonna breeze through this episode. It's not too much on the docket, you know what I mean, outside of what we promoted on Twitter.
yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
go ahead
Like,
and I'm gonna run through it. You know what I mean? I can start right now. My Champions Watch. My Champions Watch of the week, as you guys know, our weekly segment. We each pick a champion and analyze their week. I'm going with LA Knight. LA Knight to me had a really solid week, embarrassing Santos Escobar as always, and then proceeding to just annihilate the competition with Humberto with ease. Shinsuke Nakamura returning with a new cool like Japanese zombie gimmick. I'm fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a nice feud to have with LA Knight to give LA Knight something to do for the rest of Q4. I think he's gonna have a good title reign until he has the second match with Logan Paul. If that happens, I think he's going to have a title reign well into WrestleMania season. I don't see LA Knight losing the belt anytime soon. There's no real need for him to lose the belt anytime soon, unless it's to give it to somebody that is a heel that needs it, not just a heel that's there. So, LA Knight's my champion of the week. Hey, how you feel? Who you got?
my champion of the week is Amanda Serrano. speaking of that, speaking of that Mike Tyson and Logan Paul fight, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor was one of the best fights that I've seen, best boxing matches that I've seen in quite some time. It was competitive. They went toe to toe, but the wrong woman won that fight. Amanda Serrano should be the champion, and therefore she is my champion. She is the people's champion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She landed more. Plus Katie got a point taken away from a headbutt. Serrano's eyelid was doing like this. You know what I mean? Was just flapping in the wind. But she stayed in the pocket. She kept throwing shots. She landed more. She landed a higher percentage from what I remember. And somehow she did not win that fight as per the judges. I don't understand it, but Amanda Serrano is my champion of the week. I mean, the rightful whatever WBF, WBC, whatever the issues that go before that world championship, she should have that in the pocket. But it is what it
That's a,
is. But
that's a
Amanda
good
Serrano,
pick. What a sleeper. What a sleeper
yeah,
that was.
yeah,
I like
that
that.
was that was a hell of a fight. That was a hell of a. Did you catch the whole card?
I only caught the end of that fight and the Tyson fight. I couldn't really stick
Yeah, yeah.
around for the whole card, man. It was
The
just
fight before that, I saw. I forget the two guys' names, but that wasn't a bad one either. That was a pretty good fight. I saw those
Ramos or
three.
something. I
It,
think it
it
was
might have been.
Ramos
I
or
don't.
something.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I tell you I remember, but it was it
Two
wasn't bad.
fair
It was pretty good.
fights, pretty
It was
much.
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Shouts to
that
Serrano.
was. Next up, we got Prepped and Cooked, y'all. It's a weekly segment where we just take a wrestler's trajectory, look at it, and we go, They're on a decline, and I don't think it's going to get any better. They are prepped. If they're already at that decline, they are super fried, cooked, sauteed, delivered, done. So, with that being said, my prep for the week is Chase U. They have officially disbanded because Ridge Holland expectedly defeated Andre Chase to now advance to Deadline to have a world title match with Trick Williams. I will say it was a funny tweet I caught where someone said Shawn Michaels books the NXT men's side of the main event scene with the lazy eye and the women's main event scene with the good eye. And
It's outrageous.
I was like, that was out fucking landish, but that is so accurate because the NXT men's side is just so desolate right now that Trick Williams could probably hold the belt for the next year and nobody would even bat an eyelash right now. It's one of those title reigns. So I gotta say, Chase U. Unfortunately, they are disbanded now. I think this is not a good thing. It's a good thing for Thea Hale. She's gonna be really a bright spot, but that women's division is already so stacked right now, and they already have 2.5 titles going around there from the main, the mid, and the tag. That like Thea Hale's now gotta quit being a lackey slash like hype woman valet and like now get in the ring, get in contention. Um, Duke Hudson, I don't know what's going to happen to Duke Hudson. He could possibly go heel and challenge Trick. He could be a main event guy, but he could end up like Dijak as well too. That's a very high potential for Duke Hudson. The other fellow, Riley Osborne, I believe, he's probably going to be out the door or probably just lower of the card. And Andre Chase, he can probably get over, but it's going to be interesting to see where he goes from this gimmick that has carried him since the inception of 2.0. So this is really interesting on the NXT side. Like if there's any drama going on, it's that because how do you take a guy whose gimmick has been this the entire time he's been here and now it's time to be someone else. Your group's done. There's no more Chase U. You don't got a title shot. You're a two-time tag champ, but no one remembers the tag title reign, and you've been a perennial happy jobber group most of the time. So I don't know where Andre Chase goes, and I don't know where Chase U goes. So I can't say they're cooked, but they are definitely prepped. I don't know if you tapped into the NXT side, but
I saw no, I didn't. I saw a lot of people that reacted to Chase U breaking up though. I
yes,
definitely caught a lot of that conversation, and that means that they tapped into the pulse of the people for sure. You know what I mean? Like
yes,
a lot of people were not happy that Chase U broke up. So while I can't necessarily give an educated opinion on what happens with them next, I was surprised because I'm not a regular NXT watcher. So, but I was surprised that so many people were like really really that upset that Chase U broke up. It was about what the beginning of 2.0.
yes.
Is that
That's what
when
I'm
they
saying.
started? Yeah.
He's had the gimmick the entire time.
So is that
So
what 2 years? Was that 2022? Just about?
could be, yeah, just about 2, 3 years,
Yeah.
three
Okay.
years now. So I think it's gonna be interesting where he goes. So I just say prepped. And I mean, Thea Hale's dope. She's gonna land fine. But Andre Chase, there's no telling. He might be on the TNA crossover list real soon, just doing TNA shit. So yeah, man, that's that. Well, my cooks for the week, it's Mercedes Monet. Actually, it's Camille, parentheses, and also Mercedes Monet. Because Camille is the doofiest bodyguard that has been possibly displayed in recent memory. I mean, and it just goes along with Mercedes as well too. Like everything just feels so campy. You know what I mean? Like it just Dynamite was kind of it was going up and down last night. I ain't gonna hold you. I watched the whole show. It was going up and down, and then Mercedes was so down that I'm just like, yo, I actually hope Statlander wins. Like I would love for Statlander to just win and like end this. Like just pack this whole feud up and give it back to Statlander. Forget all the yo, she was a heel, and just forget all of it. Just give it a belt. Like just let her win the title. Long story less long, she made Hikaru Shida look like more of a threat, which she is. She's a 3-time women's champion. She definitely was more of a task to get through than Camille was. She made Camille look like chump change. And this is their match that I'm talking about last week. It's their interactions and all their interactions actually. She's punked Camille. And Mercedes tells Camille, yo, just get in the ring and handle my dirty work. And she's like, yo, I got a arm in a cast. Like, what you want me to do, yo? And just walks in there and proceeds to try to punch this chick and does such a bad job that Hikaru Shida lifted the ring rope and just let Statlander just dump her out. Like, you could have heard the cartoon music just
I was about to
like,
say that was Looney Tunes. That's like the bullfighters just
yes,
cha cha cha.
yes, yes. I was just like, yo, what's happening to Camille, dogs? Like, holy shit. I couldn't even think of a match. There's like most of the matches that I enjoyed like were pretty good, so I couldn't really cook anyone. But if I had to go overall arc character, like Camille is just cooked, man. It's already done for her, Brody.
I thought like Camille had a match against, was it Stat? No, Camille and Queen Aminata. And that was like what, 3 weeks ago, just about. And
It
in
was like
that
8
three
weeks
week
ago.
period, in that 3 week period, she turned into like the goofiest goon. You know what I mean? Like
Yo, the goofy goon.
the goofy goon in
That's
in
a
in
good.
like in
That's
like
a good.
2 weeks in 15 minutes. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Yo, the Goofy Goon was a good one because it's like Sid. I was trying to like think of someone to compare it to, but I was just like, Sid wasn't really. Kevin Diesel.
Now
I
that's
was
the
just
thing,
like,
like with because that's the immediate comparison that I had was this is Sean and Diesel, you know what I mean, or Sean and Sid. It was always like the current superstar with the muscle that comes out of nowhere. I'm gonna watch it back, and at some point it breaks down, and they have that feud and go their separate ways,
yes,
and that formula is right there. So I thought that's what they were doing with Camille. You never saw Sean like punk Kevin Nash or punk Sid. They
yo,
punked him. You know what I mean? So that was so funny. It's like,
yo,
yo, go in there. And then what made it funnier to me was like how long was she kept looking back while she was walking up the steps, and then she looked back, and then she get in the ring, and then she looked back, and Mercedes, yo, just get it done. She's like, yo, but my arm, bro, what you want me to do? You want me to do? And then she still took the swing. I thought
yo,
that she was going like try to play Mercedes, like I get in here, and then she just like, you know what, y'all got it. She just still tried to
nah,
take
I
the
knew it.
swing.
I knew it was doomed, yo, because I was just like, Camille ain't that character, but she at least tried. But when Hikaru Shida lifted the rope up and just sent her like a trap
Oh
door, I
man.
was like, yeah, there's Camille. There goes Camille, folks. She's out of here. Like, and then Mercedes with the like attempt to do the backstabber, but like kind of botched it, so the crowd still caught it, and then like, yeah,
Oh
we'll
no,
get into that. We'll get
I
into
didn't think
that.
that
We'll
I
get
didn't think
into
that
the
was a botch.
predictions.
I didn't think that was a botch.
I kind of didn't read into it too much. You know what I'm saying? I just figured like Statlander she's pretty brolic, so you know what I mean. Mercedes is rather tiny in comparison, but we'll get into the predictions and how that goes. But Cook this week is absolutely Camille, man. She is certified, packed up, and done. Um, you want to talk about Full Gear first? We do Full Gear, and then we do Logan Paul and Tyson after that. End it.
Let's get into some full gear trivia, man.
Let's do it.
Let's bring this up. I got a quick little batch of questions that I put together whenever I sent that tweet out. So within I don't know, about an hour or so, just found some interesting questions from past full gear. So let's get into it, man. Full Gear 2019. This was the first one. What city hosted the first Full Gear?
I'm gonna go with.
Oh, hold on. It's multiple choice. There we go. Baltimore,
Uh,
Maryland, Jacksonville, Florida, Minneapolis, Minnesota, or Inglewood, California.
Inglewood.
No,
Damn.
sir. I believe the correct answer is Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland hosted the first Full Gear back in 2019.
Wow.
How many championships were on the line at Full Gear 2019? 4, 2, 3, or 5?
4. A.
Incorrect, sir. Correct answer is 3. Tag
That's
team, women's world, and the men's world. What a far journey
that's why I
is
said I
having
was
3
just like
titles, right?
I was gonna go 5, but I was like, nah, it's still 2019. Let me go 4.
Nah, it was three. Three of those things. All right, next question. How many championships changed hands at Full Gear 2019? 0, 1, 2, or 3?
I'm gonna go with 2.
Oh, sir. Correct answer
Terrible.
is 0.
Can't hit no parlays at all. I'm terrible this week.
It was correct answer was 0. And real quick, I'll bring the card up so I can tell you exactly who. You know what? Maybe I'll just go on to the next question. What's the next question? Yeah. What was the Full Gear 2019 main event? Multiple choice. We got Hangman Page versus Pac, Chris Jericho versus Cody, John Moxley versus Kenny Omega, and Shawn Spears versus Joey Janela.
Chris Jericho versus Cody.
Bang. Absolutely not. Correct answer.
Wait, what?
Correct answer was John Moxley versus Kenny Omega. And it was the last match of the night. It was unsanctioned, lights out.
Yo, that terrible explosion was pre-pandemic. Are you kidding me?
Nah,
That
that
was that
wasn't.
early?
That was on. What's this? That? Nah, that was talking about the exploding barbed wire death match.
I thought they were the same thing. My
I'm
bad.
not sure if this was that. I gotta look that up. I know this was an unsanctioned lights out, but I'm not sure if it was that exploding barbed wire. All right, Full Gear 2020. Young Bucks challenged FTR for the tag team championships. Who did FTR beat to win the titles? This is a multiple
Okay.
choice. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. SCU, Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. The Lucha Brothers or Jurassic Express.
Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
Yes, sir.
I remember that reign.
Yeah, they were the second tag champs after SCU, I believe.
SCU.
All right, Taz, JR, and Excalibur were the commentary team, but who joined them to call Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page? This is Full Gear 2020. Cody, Arn Anderson, Chris Jericho, or Don Callis.
Don Callis.
Sir. What manager was barred from ringside at Full Gear 2020? Arn Anderson with Cody versus Darby Allin. Vicky Guerrero with Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida, Tully Blanchard with FTR versus the Young Bucks, or Wardlow with MJF versus Chris Jericho.
Tully Blanchard. See.
Bang. All right, you doing all right? You coming back. True or false? Full Gear 2021 featured CM Punk's return match against Darby Allin.
False.
Correct. Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus faced Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. What was the match stipulation? This is Full Gear 2021.
Oh my
Three
God.
possible answers: false count anywhere, a Minneapolis street fight, or the trios championship.
Terrible match. Minneapolis street fight.
Oh, false count anywhere, but what's the difference, right?
Right.
Trios championship, of course, wasn't announced until July 2022. How many managers appeared on Full Gear 2021? This is a wild ass 4, 6, 8, or 10.
6.
No, correct answer is 10. Don Callis, Rebel, Dan Lambert, Jose the Assistant, Arn Anderson, Brandon Cutler, Michael Nakazawa, Tully Blanchard, Alex Abrahantes, and Vicky Guerrero were all managers on the same card.
It's a
It's
lot
10
of
of them.
ringside activity.
It's a lot of ringside activity.
Ringside club.
Nah, man. Full Gear 2022 had how many matches, including the pre-show? 13, 12, 11, or 14?
Who cares? I'm going 14.
13.
Yeah.
3 on the buy-in, 10 on the pay-per-view, as per usual for an AEW event. Full Gear 2022, who interfered to help MJF beat John Moxley to win his first AEW World Championship?
The Diamond Ring.
That's your answer?
Yeah.
Who? Somebody said the Diamond Ring. Who?
uh, I forgot. I don't even know. Recall.
That
I'm out.
would be the good Sir William Regal. That's when he slipped the
There
brass
we
knuckles.
go.
He slipped the brass knuckles to your man MJF. All right, that
Diamond
was
ring,
it.
brass knuckles. You knew the vibes.
Know the vibes. That was a quick little impromptu. Put that together in 42 seconds. Little trivia. Do we have the card for Full Gear 2024?
I don't have it on me, but I
All
can
right,
tell you every match damn near.
let's pull it up. Right now, I see 9, including the pre-show. There are 9 matches. Let me see if I could bring this up. Pulling this right off of the Wikipedia. 9 matches, Full Gear 2024. Here we go. There we go. Right off of the Wikipedia. Of course, we have the pre-show. Big Boom AJ with Big Justice versus QT Marshall. MJF versus Roderick Strong. Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. Private Party defending the tag team championships against the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed. Mercedes Moné, AEW TBS champ. She's defending against Chris Statlander. Of course, Camille is in the cut. Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. Jack Perry defends that TNT championship against Daniel Garcia. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. And John Moxley defends the AEW World Championship against Orange Cassidy.
What a
Where you want to
card.
start? Start
Start
from the
from the
top.
top and work our way down. Pause.
Big Boom AJ with the promo of the week.
This guy had more of a reaction than most of the card. It was him and Cheeseburger who stole the night on Dynamite.
Yo,
Remarkable.
my man Cheeseburger didn't deserve that type of punishment.
Yo, Cheeseburger should be around more often.
He got his ass beat, man. I haven't seen Cheeseburger in a little bit.
That's why I think he would be around more often. I think he'd be the guy who takes like 5 good beatings and he gets that one win against like a mid card guy and everyone's like going crazy viral. Like I think Cheeseburger is like a cool jobber, especially if you're not gonna use like Danhausen and shit. Like you should probably slide in a guy like Cheeseburger who could be a good hand and not like Commander who's like gonna fucking feel like I'm wrestling Shelton Benjamin for way longer than I need to be and I'm a job guy. Like Cheeseburger was cool, but other than that, Big Boom AJ, I'm gonna
Promo of
just
the
go.
week. He got
Yeah,
his opponent over, his finisher move over, the city, the name of the event, all of that. It's like 40 seconds.
yeah, he
Got to it.
definitely knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? That's how the TikTok goes. You know what I'm saying? That's how the TikTok realm goes, having to have that shit on a timer. So he knows what he's doing, being in front of the camera, having a one take shit. So
Yeah.
I mean, cool buy-in match. You know what I mean? It's a long card, so like I feel like the crowd will really not be much there until
It'll
you
be
know what I'm
fun.
saying.
That'll be
It'll be
fun.
what it is. So
The Rizzler is the special guest timekeeper. But yeah, man, this to me, AJ wins this. Big Boom AJ. Start the crowd off happy and hot.
get AEW a nice commercially viral moment. I'm with
Yep.
that. I'm with that.
MJF versus Roddy Strong.
I think
MJF
this
is
is
like in his own universe right now, right? Like there's like the rest of the event, and then there's MJ. Like you watch Dynamite, and like there's Dynamite, and then there's like the MJF portion. He feels so out of
yeah,
place because he's doing those
the
those
movies.
pre-tape. Yeah, he's doing films. He's
I
doing films.
it's mad funny that he's not there, and I feel like other people probably wish they were in the same boat as MJF sometimes. Like, y'all wish I could just show up for one match conveniently in the area where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm filming at, and then just disappear and just do
My man
pre-tapes. Like,
said, he said, "Come to TV." What you mean?
yo,
What you
is
mean?
this is a really okay match. It's gonna be original because we haven't seen it before. Unnecessary, no stakes, and no needle gets moved. I'm going to go MJF.
Yeah, I got MJF because I think what you call it, Roddy's homies turn on him. I think the kingdom breaks up. You know what I mean? I think Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole are the trio. You know what I mean? They're gonna run together. And I think the other two
MJF
fellas.
gets, yeah, makes sense. Gets
Yeah,
Mike Taven and Matt Bennett. I'm
yeah,
probably
Bennett
saying
and
their
Taven.
names wrong. Yeah, Bennett and Taven.
Bennett and
Because he
Taven. I
needs
think
hands.
yeah, he needs, he needs a couple people to stand in front of him, especially like I don't if whether he's showing up every week or not, he needs to be represented and they're going to represent him. You know what I mean? Uh,
And Matt Taven is like
Matt Taven,
he was
Bennett and
he was
Taven aren't,
before MJF. He was before MJF, but it's like Matt Taven could be he could be Sam's Club MJF if he wanted to.
but like
Just because
also
I
like,
watched his Ring of Honor run, so like I've seen this story before.
but like the upper part is like they're heels. You know what I mean? Like
The goofy heels, the goofy
yeah,
gangs.
you need some goofy gangs. You need some goofy gang bangers out here, man.
Yeah, man. It's like
You need
cool
some
like that.
guys to slip on the banana peel so MJF could get away. You know what I mean?
That's cool, I guess. Like Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roddy Strong. No one's really asking for it. Like whatever. Like you know what I
Yes,
mean?
it's one of
Whatever.
those. It's one
Yeah,
of
it's
those.
whatever.
Jay White versus Hangman Page. I enjoyed the hell out of the last pay per view match that they
It's
had, so
gonna be
I'm looking
good.
forward to this one for sure.
It's gonna be good. I can tell they're gonna have everything to do with each other for the next 2 months because this is the second singles match and there's no stiff. So I know they've got more chaos to come.
Yeah, this is definitely a World's End wrap up.
I thought it would have been a submission match the way Jay White is saying he's gonna tap him out, but that just makes me feel like Hangman's just gonna win now.
Yeah, I think Hangman probably wins, and I think to your point, they'll do a submission or an I Quit match at World's End. I love the like Hangman's been selling that leg, for weeks now. So you know that that's going to be Jay White's target. Plus, Jay White is one of the best counter wrestlers, you know, period. So everything that Hangman throws at him, he has one or two or three different ways that he can avoid it or get out of it. But I think
Sleeper match of
Hangman,
the night.
I don't think it's a sleeper though, because I think like even for the last match that they had, maybe that was a sleeper to a few people, but I expected it to go. I think like maybe it outdid some expectations, but I thought it was going to be dope nonetheless. So to me now, I'm like expecting that to match up to this, but have a little bit more of, the strategy involved of going after a limb, going after your injury, that type of
Yes.
thing.
I can
Um,
fuck with that.
but yeah, Jay White and Hangman Page, that does not disappoint, and I don't think this is going to disappoint either. But because to your point, I don't think this is going to end at Full Gear. I think it ends at World's End. Hangman for the win, tie that thing up 1-1, and then we get the rematch in December.
Yes. Yes, Sirski.
Tag team championships on the line, Private Party against the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King, and the acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. What you think?
What a fuck you that'll be if Private Party don't win.
I can't eat, right? Although, if you want to Dusty Rhodes this, you have them hold that title for a very short amount of time if you want to Dusty Rhodes it.
Hold on a second.
Um, yeah, but I think to your point, like I don't think Private Party loses this at all. I think there are a lot of other things going on. Like the Outrunners are just like over period. So
Right.
you could take them out of the equation as far as being threats for this title right now. They're just fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King feel like they're in a weird spot to me right now. Because they lost a couple of high profile matches. Speaking of MJF, Adam Cole beat not both of these guys, but he beat two out of the three members of the House of Black. Um, Malachi Black and Brody King got a win, I think, on last week's Dynamite, but I don't really feel like they have momentum. This would be a hell of a way to jumpstart something, but I don't see them. And the Acclaimed, I feel like a lot of people are just waiting at any minute for this to crumble and break up. So they're definitely not lined up for a win. They're lined up to
Facts.
to turn on each other.
No, that's a
Somebody's
fact.
taking that MVP card. So yeah, I mean by process of elimination, I think it's more interesting to me. Like I think Private Party pins somebody from the Acclaimed, and then we let that frustration bubble over, and that leads to their breakup or a little bit more friction. But Private Party retains, still champs.
Bowens takes the pinfall.
Bones
I
takes
think
the
it'll be
pin, and then Caster turns on him. You think?
Not now, but that'll be a catalyst. Outrunners are too popular right now. FTR, they're trying to get them over.
Yep.
Kings of the Black Throne just came off double losses on primetime television, so I don't think they need to be pinned at any point outside of having the highlight moments of this match. And Private Party hit a gin and juice on Bowens and just send it home and retain the belts. If they don't, otherwise, it's like Outrunners can't win. It would just be too soon. Crowd will turn on them eventually. Kings of the Black Throne could be a surprise, but nah, not right now. And the Acclaimed, it's time to pack it up on them. So where have they been? I can't believe they qual. Like what show did they qualify on? Rampage? Like I couldn't believe they even got this match, yo. I was like, damn.
I want to say like between Collision and Rampage, I forget, but I saw something. Where's Billy Gunn? Has he been around?
It's probably gonna be there with them just for the pay-per-view pop.
Big Bill,
The Acclaimed.
bigger Bill,
Next match.
bigger Bill. Next match is the TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné, she's defending against Chris Statlander. Camille is in the tuck. I think Camille turns, bro. I think
What a
Camille costs. I think
It's only been like
Camille
2 months though. Like it's only been like I feel
two
you
months for
what
what?
you where you about, I
But
feel you where you about to go, but it's to me it's like it was only like 3 months. Like what are we doing with this? This is why she's
that's
cooked.
fine.
Like that's crazy.
Nah, that's fine. I think Camille turns because she's been getting, she's been getting bullied by the little girl, man. Like Mercedes been telling her to go left, nah, go right, nah, hold my bag, a lot on every show that they've showed up on. And I think, I think Camille probably has enough, or she costs Mercedes the
Yeah.
title by accident.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It could be on purpose, but it also could be on accident. I think either way, Camille is the determining factor in Chris Statlander picking up the win in the title.
So you're calling for the end of Mercedes' reign.
Yep.
I'm going to go the opposite, unfortunately, and say that Camille does neither of those options, and she aids Mercedes in retaining by catching Statlander off guard with the ref down to show her appreciation and her apologies and dedication and continue to dog walk Mercedes until her eventual turn.
Could be. I could see that. She's
I
trying
think
to she's trying to make up and get in the good graces of
yes,
Miss
she
Monet.
can't be the goofy gangster. She feels you like this is my way to the top is to just be with the CEO. Then I'm just gonna show you, and I'll help you retain your title. And then Mercedes will just bow down to her like for the time being, be like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like now get the fuck out of
Okay.
here. So
I mean,
yeah.
regardless, either way, what it looks like is that Miss Camille is definitely playing a major role in either way, in the outcome of this. So yeah, that's Mercedes, Chris Statlander. We have Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. This is another one of those. See, like singles match with nothing on the line. Jay White, Hangman Page, singles match with nothing on the line, and both of those are, I think, my top two matches that I'm looking forward to, along with Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. These aren't
Mad
revolving.
titles.
These aren't revolving around championships. This is just like well built aggression. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
get it. Like for the sake of the feuds, like I understand. Like I feel like the pay-per-views is where like this is where we could have had the Briscoe. We could have had Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Rocky Romero versus Death Riders for the trios title. This is where like Okada's not defending. This is
yeah, I don't think we see Okada till the C2.
yeah, till C2 starts next week. You know what I'm saying? But well, I guess to that point, I guess every belt is here. That
I mean,
matters, I guess.
there's 9 matches
Not the
here.
international. Takeshita
Yeah,
and the Ricochet not being on here, I think was definitely like better
actually, I think
served.
I just saw that was announced, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that.
I could have swore I seen a graphic for it, but that caused a little uproar because there wasn't much emphasis put on that match.
Nope, yeah, that is
And
that is announced international title to. I mean, Ricochet's been calling them out for 2-3 weeks. It
we
wasn't
finally
maybe
got something.
it wasn't maybe on the card this week, but that's been built. That's been built. But yeah. So all right, real quick, we got Swerve versus Bobby. Let's get back to that one, and then we could ad lib with Takeshita versus Ricochet. But Swerve versus Bobby. This is Bobby ain't losing his debut, his pay-per-view debut.
I don't think so
at
either.
all. Yeah, he's not losing that.
I don't believe so. It would be a travesty if he does. Swerve loses a lot lately, but I just don't think that Lashley needs to be put down just this easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he's got to win. I'm
Yeah,
going
I think
Lashley.
this exactly. I'm going Lashley. I think this is like Swerve because he had that that world title reign that ended off with like two really, 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 really big high profile, feuds, and he performed really well. He's got the ill connection with the crowd, and I think this is the opportunity to give Bobby Lashley like a real marquee match, to show the world and anybody that might have had doubts, anybody that wanted to see more from Bobby Lashley back in the E, just remind everybody what Bobby Lashley can actually do.
True.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And like that's what this is going to be a showcase and a coming out party for the good Sir Bobby Lashley. But yeah, he picks up the W. Now let's circle back. We got Ricochet versus Takeshita International Championship on the line. Again, I think this is another showcase match for Ricochet. It's going to be a hell of a match, but I don't see Takeshita dropping that title anytime
No,
soon.
not at all.
You know, but this is I can't like the styles make fights type of vibe. To see Takeshita in there with a guy as athletic as Ricochet, knowing what Ricochet can do is always going to be a beautiful thing. They're going to go 1,000 miles an hour, 1,000 miles an hour. But Takeshita
That's going to be a
retains.
highlight. That
Yeah,
match will be a highlight of the night. And that's why I say Jay White and Hangman will be a sleeper because you have that match and you got Osprey and Fletcher coming up. So
yeah, I expect big from all those last four matches. Right, those three non-title singles matches plus this Takeshita versus Ricochet. I got high expectations for all of them. You know, they're gonna go. They're
I
gonna
believe.
go.
I believe.
So you got Takeshita as well. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, catch them.
Absolutely. All right, three matches left in the tuck. We got Jack Perry defending the TNT Championship against Daniel Garcia. Ah, I might go Garcia on this one. I might
I'm
go
gonna,
Garcia on this one.
I'm gonna
It
go
seemed,
Garcia.
yeah, I'm gonna go Garcia on this. Like, I think Garcia. Seems like the elites pretty much crumbled. Right, we haven't seen the Bucks for a while. They're home. They went home. They're coming back more than likely with Kenny. Haven't seen Omega. I mean, Okada. He's getting busy for the getting ready for the C2. Jack Perry don't have any boys, man. So it's just gonna be a straight up one-on-one, and Daniel Garcia has the momentum. Just signed that new contract about a month ago or so. New TNT champ. Got the people on the side, man.
I'm gonna
DG.
go with it. I'm gonna go with Garcia. I just feel like this match will be.
I think this, as far as like the sleeper from my point of view, because I'm expecting this to be good, but it could be great. But I'm not expecting it to be great. I'm expecting it to be good. You know what I'm saying?
I could see it. To your point, I can see that, but I also could see it being the. I don't want to say the bathroom break, but I could see it being the part of the show where like it's just not as exciting as Swerve and Bobby or the four-way tag or the excitement that Jay White and Hangman and the storytelling Osprey and Fletcher. If it goes after Fletcher and
I
O'Reilly,
would, yeah, I would have this open. I'd get this as close to the top of the card. I think that Daniel Garcia winning a championship to
that's the
open the
pop.
pay per view,
That is the
that
pop.
would be, yeah, I'd open with this.
That is how
Coming
that
off
will
a
save
Big Boom
the match.
AJ, right? Coming off a Big Boom AJ, everybody's feeling good. It's probably going to be another two matches on the pre-show, but I think Big Boom AJ would be the one that you know, start the pay per view off with or end the pre-show off, and then you go right into a DG title win.
They could be doing a callback to the first Full Gear. Maybe no titles will change hands this pay per view. Who knows?
Uh, I think this is the this. I think this. I predicted that Chris Statlander wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mercedes retains. I think I'd be surprised if Daniel Garcia doesn't win this.
Because after you do the kidnap and beat up a truck thing, it just is like, what do you? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Like now what? Like it's like, hey, you lost. Shit.
If there was ever a match that should have a stipulation after you tie homeboy up with a truck and all that, Like this should be falls count anyway or something.
Yeah, like there just should have been like some type of oomph to it. Like it's gonna be a good wrestling match, but
Yeah.
it's just you know what
But
I
I think
mean.
like if this opens up, I think that's a really good spot.
If this goes on in the exact order that this card is, and then you flip it with Osprey and Fletcher, and it goes even further down to like right before Pockets and Moxley, the crowd is going to just be dead until the end if Daniel Garcia wins, yo. But it's gonna be cool if he wins. So I'm going Garcia too, yo. I think now is the time. Just get it off of Jack Perry and let's just start over. Let's just clean the TNT division up. There's enough talent. We could have Daniel Garcia run Collision if he wants to and actually like kill the shit. Like I wouldn't mind that. Like give him something to do, man.
Just put
Give
some bangers
Collision
on.
give Collision a reason to like tune in. Like make the TNT title like, yo, this is the Collision heavyweight title. Like I'm defending this shit regularly. This has to go down. So like people know, yo, you want to tune into Collision, you want to see Daniel Garcia versus Hangman Adam Page for the TNT title. Like, oh, wait a minute, I might actually tap in for that one. That looks like that could be something. Like that's cool. So it's kind of where I see the vision for the TNT Championship, man. I think I just have too much high hopes for it. After Copeland and his situation, it just feels like that title has just been, it's like right there next to the FTW Championship. It's fitting that the champion is the guy who was fighting for the FTW title a year ago.
I mean, I think it's a lot of it is because like there was that mystery of what happens with Jack Perry. Is he even part of the company? Blah blah blah. Brawl out, fall out, da da da. And then he came back and was like, all right, cool. It's Jack Perry.
It's like he doesn't really feel like a star, man. It just feels like the weed dealer, like near fucking like Rockville Center High School. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Man said Perry got the pack.
yeah, man, he got the jungle pack. Like that's what he's on. That's what he pushing, man. Like so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to that TNT title reign. Let's pack it up, yo.
Right.
On to the next.
2 more matches. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
Yo,
This is
dog. At what point of being at this show live would you be like, yo, I've had too many beers?
nah, never. Not me.
Like there's gotta be even for you, there's gotta be a limit. Cause by this point of the night, like niggas is either just like standing there or sitting there just like the show's either rolling or we're just like, yo, dog, I have just drank enough, I've ate enough, I've spent enough. I'm trying to hold
Nah,
on.
I can't hold you. When we went to House of Glory, because I ran into so many people that I knew,
That
I was
show flew
bouncing
by.
around. I was moving around. By the time we got to the end of
Yeah, man.
I was so thankful that Boog drive and I didn't. You know what I
That
mean?
show flew by.
No, the
MLW
show
even got
flew by, but I was just I was moving like
but when we went to Dynamite, we went to Arthur Ashe, the Grand Slam. That actually kind of flew by too.
nah. That flew.
That
That
flew
flew.
by. That flew by. But these because yeah, we don't get 10 match pay per views in person. Like that's why Dynamite
Yeah,
flew by.
like I'll go maybe to like a TV or I'll go to a small like indie, but like I don't know. I say all that like I'd go to a AEW pay per view. I just we'll see when that's gonna be.
Yeah,
We'll
like I
see when
said, I
that's
was
gonna be.
considering Newark, man. It's not too far off, but I just know me at this point. Like I'm here for the 5 match PLE. I think I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled on that side. Like, give me a good 2 to 3 hour show, 2.5 hours, send us home. We're out of here. Like, this is gonna be even just watching this. Like, I already got to reserve like half my night already. Just like, yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna be here till midnight. Like, at least catching this live. Like, yeah, we're gonna be here till midnight for Full Gear on Saturday. So, anybody that wanted a link, it's like, dog, you just have to catch me on Twitter. Just catch me on the Ringside Club account watching this and live tweeting this pay per view. It's gonna be a long night.
Speaking of the end of the show, the main event, John Moxley, he's the current AEW
Oh
World
no,
Champion.
we skipped over Osprey and Fletcher.
Oh shit, yeah, my
I'm
fault.
going Osprey.
Yeah, same. Like I think it'd be a cool match to have Fletcher. Like I think like if this ends without interference, this is Osprey with the W. You know what I mean? But I really don't see this ending without interference because Kyle Fletcher's former partner, And Aussie Open
Yep.
got his head taken off with that hidden blade yesterday on
Yep.
Dynamite.
Yes, he did.
So that's gonna play a part, and I think that's why Kyle Fletcher takes the W here.
Kyle Fletcher could use the win a lot more, and if he does get the win, I think that propels him to an immediate like international title or some type of next program with an upcoming TT champion in Daniel Garcia. Like that could be something serious because can't ignore that. And then that introduces the tag team factor, and I probably will give Hobbs something to do. And Hobbs and Mark Davis will probably feud and have tag team matches on Dynamite. And
Like they wanna tap back into that super heavyweight, like that division. You know what I mean? So Powerhouse Hobbs versus Mark Davis, just throwing elbows at each other. Get the meat chance, the crowd on the meat chance. All that
yeah,
they're gonna do that.
I can see that. It's crazy, Kind of feel like going Fletcher, but I just think Ospreay could use the win. Please, Will Ospreay, and why not?
I
Let the
think
turn happen after the match.
I think like
Send the crowd home happy. If given what could happen after this match with the next one we're about to say, I think you got to send the crowd home happy and give Ospreay the win.
I don't think you do. And I think like regardless of even if Will Ospreay does win that match, and John Moxley later on beats Orange Cassidy, that's what they're gonna remember. They're gonna remember the end of the Mox match. You know what I mean? Like regardless of Ospreay or Fletcher wins that match, the crowd isn't going home happy because of that match. They're going home depending on what happens with Mox versus Cassidy. And again, like I don't think you have to send the crowd home quote unquote happy face. Like remember how that shit ended when Mox beat, Danielson? That shit was pin drop quiet because they was shocked.
Can't be.
You know,
I
but
don't think
we
that's going to be every.
but we were talking about that. No, we're not doing it every pay-per-view. We're not even going that far. But we don't have to have a happy ending either.
Seems like ages ago since that one.
Yeah.
How much fucking content is out right now? That match seems like ages ago.
The man already bald, man. He came home.
Yeah, he's done.
He came home. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Fletcher because I think Mark Davis turns. I think Aussie Open reforms not as an official tag team, but he's definitely part of the Callis family.
Fair. That I agree with. I think that'll be the end of the match, not to cost Ospreay the victory, but that'll be post match. So I'm going with that.
Word up.
Main event
All right.
time.
One last match on the card. We got Mox defending the AEW World Title against Orange Cassidy. Mox is definitely winning this. I think I mentioned either last week or the week before. Like Orange Cassidy's not the guy. I think Darby Allin's probably going to be next up. I don't think he's the guy. I think Kenny Omega is the guy that eventually beats Mox for that world championship. Come back and save AEW. Who better than the EVPs? But in the meantime, they build Orange Cassidy up to be to be a contender, but he's not the guy. He's not the guy. Mox retains.
The Hardcore Holly remix theme song from John Moxley is just so enjoyable. Like I actually enjoy this shit. You know what I'm saying? When it hits,
I like Claudio's joint too.
Claudio's joint's cool. I'm glad he got the win. That his match with Darby was like actually one of the bright spots of Dynamite for me, and I really did enjoy that jargon. I wish they'd have a best of 5 series or a best of 7. That'd be something dope to do. I see why that wasn't on the pay-per-view, and it was just for Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? It was good enough, believable enough, and usually Darby comes through and does the Superman shenanigans and powers through and just rolls up Claudio and makes Claudio looks like an idiot. But no, Claudio killed Darby, and I was actually really dope to see for a change. You know what I mean? In the AEW land of the tiny guys. So I think
every time I see Claudio swing Darby into like the barricade or the steps,
he's having so much fun.
Like Claudio's having fun swinging him, and I think Darby's having fun getting hurt.
Yes, he's like, this is gonna be such a moment.
This is great.
Yeah,
this is great. Little fracture. All right,
going viral. Give me a reason to have time off so I can go do shit that I want to do outside of wrestling.
I want to go climb something, man.
Let me just fall through this skyscraper at the top of the arena. and I'll just go ahead and take a couple months off. It's all good.
And say,
Um,
yo, let me climb something.
I could go with the John Moxley victory, man. It's inevitable. He's gonna have this title for a long, long, long time, my man. So everyone, get ready for the John Moxley era. It's gonna be dope to see the world title for a change, like, or maybe I'm curious to see how they do that situation. That's something that's intriguing me about this match. I'm trying to find things to enjoy about this feud because it's just so underwhelming, but the ring introduction is like when they pop open the briefcase, is it going to be a new belt? Is there going to be no belt? Is he just going to be like, I've turned the belt into grime and grit and bone and, you know what I'm saying, dust and, like, you know what I mean, a Moxley jargon. Like, how's it, like, you know what I mean? Like, where's the belt been? We ain't seen the belt. This is like Roman territory. Like, you took a
Belt
page
been,
out of Roman's book,
yeah.
except he's showing up just without the belt.
Yo, your man Roman said the champ is not gonna show up. Mike said I'll be there, but the title ain't showing up.
Yeah, like, so that's got me intrigued about this feud in this match. So we'll see how that goes. Is he gonna raise his hand with the belt? Like, what happens with the AEW World Title with that? I can't believe that Pockets is headlining this match right now. Like, it's still fucking me up that Orange Cassidy is in the main event. I'm an OC guy, but it's just like this. This isn't the most exciting thing we could be doing right now. Like, it is definitely filler vibes. Like, it feels like filler vibes with this one. Kenny Omega, I still don't. He could be the guy, but Kenny is so Bryan Danielson levels of like selflessness that I feel like he'd be like, no, I would not defeat John Moxley and take the AEW World Title, but I'll do a tag team match.
You know, that's a interest. Like who's more selfless, right? Like Kenny Omega or Brian Danielson. I'd give that nod to Brian because at least
Yes,
Kenny won the title pretty early in the history of AEW. Like Brian was there for 3 years, and Tony was like, "Bro, enough! Like
yeah, yeah. Take the
you're
belt, yo.
taking the championship, man."
Yeah. And that's where I think Kenny will take a page from Brian's book and not want to come in immediately, especially after doing this whole New Japan run and be like, yo, now I'm just going to take over the main event scene. And all the guys that are fighting for this spot, like Darby and such, back in the line. Like, I don't think Kenny is at that point where he would do that. I don't know him at all, but off of the history, the jargon, I could go with him pulling the selfless move. And that's why I say Moxley will have a long, long, long title reign.
I don't know though because like I think Kenny Omega is also tapped into the conversations, right? And I think like a lot of people not only obviously miss Kenny Omega because he's been on the show for a while after the diverticulitis, but they also like part of the promise of AEW was being able to see the best bout machine do his thing, right? On at the top of the card. So I think him winning that championship would also give him like I think Kenny would be so selfless that he'd treat the AEW World Championship like the TNT joint and just start throwing open challenges out to whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd wrestle pretty often, I think, as the world champ, as a face world champ. Because remember, he only had the title once and he was a heel. So I think like babyface Omega with the title is probably like I think Kenny understands that that's one of the best moves, and I think like John Moxley's positioning himself as like think about how much work Mox had to do to get booed. Nobody wanted to boo Mox until
No.
recently. You know what I'm saying? And I think like Kenny Omega also understands that everybody wants to cheer him because he hasn't been here and he's one of the best to do it. So I think he understands it. I think when they finally get a chance to have that match, I think Kenny's winning it.
To
I
that
don't
point,
think
yo,
I don't think it's going to be a that long of a title reign. It's going to be a few months, but January, February ish, March maybe.
AEW doesn't need Kenny Omega, is what Kenny Omega is saying right now in regards to his New Japan return, which is fucking insane to say when you look at the landscape of that main event scene.
Yeah, but Kenny Omega is also like very, very 50-50, either in kayfabe or not, whenever he talks to the media. You know what I'm saying? Like Kenny Omega is one of them dudes that he can give you a shoot answer and then the next sentence is super duper kayfabe. So I don't take any of that shit, with anything more than a grain of salt.
Fair. Fair to that. So, John Moxley, Death Rider, Paradigm Shift. That's
And
it.
still,
And still,
and
he'll
still.
probably try to kill him, but then
And
he'll
yo,
just pop up and
to keep it a buck, man, you want to talk about sending the crowd home happy. I think like I wouldn't be surprised if after Mox wins, Darby, does his run in and they start immediately setting the
yeah,
table for
that's
Darby
I can
versus
see that.
Mox.
It's
You
gonna
know?
end with like Orange Cassidy like still putting his shades on and having the crowd, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Just
baby
going in there
faces
for
stand tall. They might not have gotten the title, but they'll stand tall at the end,
yes.
Word
That
up.
I can see that.
So, there'll probably be a couple more matches, but by and large,
Oh my god.
that
No.
is that
Don't
is the
say
card.
that.
Nah,
No.
you know the vibes. You know
Don't
how it
say that,
goes, man. We
man.
got to we got to get to we have to get to 13, bro.
Yo, who is missing from this card at this point? That's an active AEW wrestler. FTR? Like, that's it. Like, F Jericho, thank the Lord.
Well,
Actually,
something. What you call it? Mariah May, I think she's having like the
that's still,
celebration, but that's setting the table for Tony Storm.
I
It's
think
not a
Tony
match,
Storm,
but that'll be a segment.
I think she comes back possibly as a new character.
Yeah, more than likely. But she'll be back at, I think at the pay-per-view. So that's going to take some time. It's not going to be a match, but
Is that
let's
really,
call it a segment. That's what, 13? I mean
it's like, is
12
that
right there.
really what we're doing? Like, we're just rehashing this feud from 3 months ago because there's been nothing to do? Like, god damn.
I mean, is that not what you said they were doing?
I did. But that's just where I'm just like, damn, man, like that's the best we got. Like Mina is amazing. I'm here for Mina. 2 thumbs up on Mina Shirakawa. But there's just
That's
where's
what
Willow?
you
Where's Willow? Why don't we
I don't
have
know.
more Willow?
I don't know.
Why don't we have more Willow?
Shouts to the Willow Hive, man.
Where is Willow, man? Why is she not the top of this division, just being present in wrestling and pouncing? That is what we need more of. Man.
I don't know. I don't know where Willow is as far as the card goes. I know
No,
she's on Blue Sky. I saw her pop up on Blue Sky. She's posting pictures of cats. I mean, so shouts to Willow. Shouts to y'all. It's the Ringside Clubs, episode 111. We got room 112 where the players dwell next week. But until then, I'm out of here. Chad Lowe's out of here. Catch y'all when we catch y'all. Peace.